And how have you been since our last meeting?
Clear, but at the same time, a lot of confusion. But overall, the anxiety has reduced. I kept on watching the video and I noticed how, I have these things on my face, which just, yeah, it's an open book. And today is the first day I've been sober. I smoke a lot of weed and yeah, that's part of the confusion. And the last video, you had a expression on your face like you can't go through life like, and this impairment is causing a lot of irritation and anxiety. And so today is a new day. I feel good. Physiologically, I have, I'm very cold, although it's 97 degrees outside, and yeah.
Okay. It's good. What you're telling me today is different, much different to last time. Today,
yes.
As you speak, you're speaking more about the present moment. Yes, which is a good sign. When you speak of this confusion, right now it's almost like we once had a cup that was filled with sediment. It had so much sediment that it was like mud and we could not see through the glass jar. But after the session that you had, we allowed the sediment to settle and it started becoming less murky, less muddy. And this confusion that you see now is because you can see the difference between clear or more clear and the difference between that and muddy. This is the confusion you have. This here is now your ego, your character saying, which way do I want to go? Yes? So if anything, now you must continue being steadfast. These changes that you're seeing is you have achieved this. Yes? You, the character, have achieved this. And now that you see this confusion now, it's once more, you need to remind yourself that I must be steadfast. I must be diligent. I need to continue on with this observation, this self-study. Because for many people, this is the moment when it's very easy for them to take 20 miles back. Not just one step back, but many miles back, many years back. Yes? But just talking from this brief moment, I can see that you're more in the present moment, which is very good. So here's the thing, the ego is very clever, very clever. We are ego and character. But on a more deep level, this level that not even the surface of the character is aware of, it's very tyrannical, very clever. It's very good at making lies. It sees only what it wants to see. So now when you're going for this confusion, you must be very steadfast. Especially when you might say to yourself, oh, I'm doing very well now. I'm doing very well now. It's okay if I just take a little drag. It'll be fine. No. This is not good. And but what I'm saying, if you're steadfast now, in next week when I see you, you'll see big change. So here's the thing, our body, I'm always talking about the body, and today you are becoming more aware of your temple, flesh and blood. This coldness that you're feeling now, this coldness has always been there. Yes? Whereas at the moment, when I look at your temple, it's still lacking what we call the inner chi. When we practice Qigong or Tai Chi, we are making our cauldron more stronger. The body essentially is like a pressure cooker. This vessel of flesh and blood, essentially is like a balloon, but we like to say it's like a cauldron. It's a cauldron made up of hot and cold. Yes? When we put water in a cauldron and we close the lid, those pressure cookers, and you start introducing heat into the water is cold, but then it starts creating steam, isn't it? So that steam that you see coming out of a pressure cooker, that's what we say when we breathe out hot air. When you breathe out hot air, that means you're good, you're healthy. If you're breathing cold air, if you know anyone who's breathing cold air, they are very close to death. And someone who's not breathing is dead. Yes? But so with your body at the moment, you're becoming more aware of your temple of flesh and blood. So really observe this coldness that you feel, which has always been there. And you mentioned that you wanted to start Li Qigong. For now, just continue on this path, and then I will let you know when you're ready. Because for now, you still need to observe your character. Yes? I don't want to give you any false hopes. It's very easy for me to say, okay, let's start Li Qigong now. And then you'll do a few movements, and then the ego, it starts taking hold again. It will start looking at itself in the mirror, performing some movements that it's been learning, and it thinks, oh, yes, I know Li Qigong now. This is not a correct way of doing things. Because remember, when we were first born into this world, we was like a ball of goodness. We had no character. And this ball of goodness, for some reason, it knew how to go towards the teat, towards the bosom, to suckle. No one taught it this. And also this little being, it started to learn to twist and turn. If we placed it on the bed, in the beginning, it just laid there with its eyes wide open, observing everything. But in time, it learned to turn, what we call torsioning now. It learned to do this by itself. No one taught it to do this. And so on and so forth, when it learned to go on its hands and knees, and it started learning to move its spine in such a way where the limbs would move in unison, allowing it to be projected or propelled forward, allowing it to follow the ball that's been thrown in front of it. And then likewise, in time, this being started to fully extend its spine so that its cranium, its atlas, was able to observe more of the world above it. Where once something was not reachable, now this little being was able to extend its spine, raise its atlas, and then move its limb towards an object that was not it. This is the beginning of duality. This is when it takes place. Duality is also the thing that kind of makes the being grow as well. Because a being now, it wants to be like other beings around it. And then we fast forward when the being is 2 years old, it's now running around. But by 2 years old, the being is now the character of Ethan and the character of Kai back in the day. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So now it's almost like you are being reborn. You have been given a second chance to get reacquainted with the temple of flesh and blood that you're possessing. So this coldness that you feel now, even though it's hot outside, is something that's always been there. In a moment, your cauldron is empty. Not empty, but it needs warming up. It needs pressure being built up. But what you do to enable this realization of this inner alchemy, because it is alchemy. Yes, it is alchemy at its most truest and fundamental sense. Because for many eons, we've had so-called alchemists searching for the philosopher's stone. Even emperors would call soldiers and whole armies to go out into the world looking for this elixir of immortality, when in fact, all they had to do was sit down and meditate and behold this inner alchemy in all its glory. Was every single being, this vessel that we have, it's alchemic. You can only just try to even fathom one bit. Like when we breathe in, can you imagine how much things is happening inside of you? Let alone when we ingest something, let alone when we actually even think about something. So in our culture, we have this thing where we talk about Jing. I don't know if you heard of this, but basically just Jing means will. So this character, this ego, it has no body. Yes, I have no body, but my temple of flesh and blood upon where I reside, this is where my will to be done. This is where I manifest things. This is how I destroy kingdoms, or this is how I create kingdoms. I use my vessel. But without the intention of the ego, I might as well just be a tree or a rock. But believe it or not, trees and rocks, they're beings as well. Just that they don't lack this ability that we have of manifestation. We have gross manifestation. We have this uncanny ability to build and destroy. But anyway, moving forward, continue practicing away from the backrest. Yes, very important. In the beginning, it will be hard. So this coldness that you feel in a physiological sense is because at the moment your kidneys are still not holding themselves up. We describe the kidneys as the start, as the engine of the body. So for me, when I'm out on the road and I help homeless people, the first area that you see me, if you watch the videos carefully, the first area you see me massage is actually their kidneys. It's very deliberate what I do. Whereas when I massage the kidneys now and I loosen up this area and I pass some of my chi into them, I start heating up, I start up their engine. So when the kidneys become unhampered, so when we sit away like this from the backrest and we just smile gently, as we're breathing in and acknowledge this breath in, the body expands. In the beginning, it will expand very, very minutely, but there is an expansion. But as you do this, you'll notice the spine will start elongating. There will be this decompression. And a part of this decompression means that the organs start having more space to be more productive. When we're feeling cold, it's because the kidneys are being squashed. They're lacking ability to allow chi, or whatever you want to call it, lacking ability of energy to go through it. So when we breathe like this and we allow our body to rise, we allow the kundalini to rise. All the organs in unison. And mark my words, it's all in unison. Right now, I'm just talking about the kidneys. Because the act or the practice of meditation, it helps everything simultaneously. It allows the ego to observe and study itself. But when I say ego, it means the intangible character. But likewise, it allows the body upon which the ego is possessing. It allows it allows the body just to blossom. And also with myself, I can see that when it's time for me to pass over, I will be in meditation before I pass over. Because we practice meditation to help us towards the end of the time when we let go. It makes it easier. Yes, so the essence can in quotes, liberate. We call it the great liberation. We don't call it death. Yes, it's a joyous moment in our culture when people liberate. So for yourself, continue doing this, yes. It's very good that you're watching the video with the earphones on. So likewise, you watch this video. It's almost like every time you put on these earphones, it's almost like I'm talking to you again. Yes, so I'm always here to guide you. Remember, I'm here as a guide. Yes, I'm not your servant, and you are not my master. Yes, I'm what they describe as a finder. Yeah, I'm no longer a seeker. Yes, where before I used to seek outside, I went inside and I found the finder. So now I'm just constantly finding things. I'm no longer looking. All questions cease. Yes, like last week when we spoke, you had a lot of questions, isn't it? But this moment now, you're in a state of being is not really asking anything. It's being very observant of the present. Oh, the body I'm in is cold. This is good. Very good. Yes. But remember, when I say these things, I'm not here to coach your ego. I'm just telling you very straightforward. Yeah, when something's good, I say it's good. When something is bad, I say it's bad. But likewise, a lot of things in this life that we are able to experience, I say it's not good or bad. Because life is to experience, yes? So for now, very good that you're not smoking weed. Yeah, it's just don't need to smoke it now. Don't even need to look forward to when you will smoke it. Because I promise you, when that time comes, you will know when that time comes. You'll be on a beach somewhere, with a little joint, a very little one, and you'll take time to roll it up. It might take you half an hour or so to roll it up. And you'll take a drag and you say, thank you, Tao Chi Kai. That's a good joint. Yeah, it's not a joint where you're just smoking just to forget. That's a waste. Yes. And, we can describe ourselves as having a addictive personality. But what I like to tell people is when you become present in the moment, you start to have an appreciative personality. Big difference. When you have an appreciative personality, you savor every sip. You savor every morsel, every mouthful. You savor every kiss. You savor every conversation, every poem, every sonnet. Everything you see, you savor it. So then you will never become, in quotes, addictive. You have to become very, like I always mention, regal. It's like royalty, isn't it? It's like being royalty. Must be our royal. Beautiful beings. Yes. So now, let's practice together, Ethan. Yes. Please gently close your eyes. And remember, nothing should be forced. Nothing. The moment you find you're forcing something, that means you're lying to yourself. Honesty is like very important. We say use self-honesty as your compass. Because then even within a crowd or horde of people, you will always have your own integrity. Just be honest to yourself. Just be honest to yourself. So as you gentle breath, and as you gently breathe in, really observe that breath. Very gentle. It might be a chuckle. Yes. And just observe your body rise with that, and observe your body settle. And then again, just gentle. Just watch it. Just watch. And you will notice your body will start rising and settling. And then now, please, a gentle smile with a breath. It's a small one. It's an honest one. And even if it's not a physical smile, even the feeling of a smile is fine. Just observing as the breath comes in. Just a gentle smile. And then now, observe. If your body feels like it wants to move, allow your body to move. That's it. Then once again, you're breathing in, just watching. And as the breath exhales, allow your body just to move with that exhale. This moving is allowing your body to unhamper, to resettle. Good. Just watching the breath coming and going. At the same time, at this very moment, you're listening to your guide, the avatar known as Tao Chi Kai, beautiful. See, I'm not here to judge. I'm here just to guide. Please, Ethan, if you can you mute your mic? Good. So I have less feedback. There we go. So now you can really listen. So when you listen back to this recording or watch it, it'll be much more clear. And then just once again, just watching the breath. Good. Just watching. And each time you will notice as the breath comes in, the body slightly expands. And then as the breath naturally goes, the body settles. And every now and then you'll feel the body wants to move, let the body move. But do not let your character, do not let yourself, your ego, take hold of this movement. Just allow the body to do what it wants to do. It's almost like we are walking in a valley, a great canyon. We're on top of a horse, you and I. The midday sun bellows above us, and we are walking under the silhouette of it in this valley, this canyon. We hear the whistling of wind going through the nooks and crannies. We hear the hoofs of our steeds trotting along. Our backs are poised. Our eyes are horizontal, directly aligned with the horizon. And we are just trotting along. And we can feel and see the natural way, this natural order around us. The canyon seems like it does not move, but we can feel and hear this breath, this wind waffling. all through its nooks and crannies. And then all of a sudden, we can hear rocks slowly crackling. And just behind us, we can hear the rocks fall. And they gather momentum, picking up other shards of rocks and pebbles along the way as they fall and roll down towards the valley floor. You see, the internal landscape of our body, our temple of flesh and blood, is no different to this valley I described. Some of us, our internal landscape could be a treacherous forest with thorns, with poisonous plants, an inhabitable space. But then as we watch our breath just coming and going, we start noticing this inner landscape becoming more expansive. Slowly, these bushes and these thorny shrubs, they start fading away to leave green pastures, meadows, wild flowers, bellowing valleys. And as we watch the breath coming and going, we start seeing that this inner landscape starts revealing a nice blue, bright, emerald blue sky. And as we watch the breath coming and going, we notice this inner landscape expand further. And it's almost like we are able to fly in this inner landscape. Our being becomes more expansive the more we watch the breath coming and going. And all we're doing is observing, beholding this breath coming and going. Every now and then, we might be reminded of a certain ache, of a certain pain. Yes, we observe it, but we do not cling hold to it. We just watch the breath, and once again, we return to this expansive landscape that we are flying and soaring and diving in. And this landscape has a beautiful ocean, one upon which we can fly into, diving deep, deep towards the below the surface, where there are hidden treasures. And we are just swimming and diving, flying through this water. And we see the myriad of fishes, colorful, all shapes and sizes. And just by watching the breath coming in and going, this inner landscape is beautiful, expansive. And every now and then we might get to thoughts of what we should be doing now or what we should have done. We did not pay attention to it. We just observe it. And then once again, we return to watching the breath coming and going. And then it reminds us again that our inner landscape is expansive, wondrous, sublime. All thoughts, they just come and go, like these beautiful clouds that we see wafting by in this inner landscape that we have, in this great emerald blue sky. A thought of maybe, oh, what should I be eating tomorrow? It comes along as a cloud. You observe the cloud, but then you're returning back to the overall landscape that you are beholding, that you are flying and flying through and flying in. Just watching the breath. And as we do this, we no longer become aware that we are anything but this landscape. We are the landscape. We're not a unique individual thing with two eyes looking at the landscape. We are the landscape. We are this omniscient thing. An omniscient thing. With no eyes, no body, because we are the landscape. And what a beautiful landscape we are. We just allow this breath to come and go like an open doorway. Just like an open doorway. The door always open, or the window is always open. Allowing things to come through, allowing things to come and go, come and go. And that's what we are reminded whenever we watch our breath. just comes and goes, comes and goes. And we are this inner landscape. And this inner landscape, you can also imagine that it is a massive sphere, a multi-dimensional sphere. And we are beholding from the center and also from the outer. We hold it from every perspective possible because we are multi-dimensional. And we watch the breath come and go, and we also expand and despan as the breath comes and goes. So this is a multi-dimensional doorway as well. Benevolent, omniscient. And as we do this, we allow everything just to be. And we are completely in this present state, this state of now, this present, this gift. Then we are reminded that we are a gift, a wondrous gift. Just watching the breath come and go. That's all we're doing. And then we're reminded that the life that we live is no different. Just watching it come and go. We observe it, we witness it, we experience it through this body that we are possessing at the moment. That's all we're doing. So now in everyday life, when you're not practicing meditation, you could still practice. You could still practice this self-study that you are doing right now. Just be observant of the breath coming and going. In any situation that you feel you're in disarray, just watch. Just watch. And you can always remind yourself that you are possessing a body by smiling as the breath comes in. And as you do that, so you're reminded that you are in a body. So no matter what situation you're in, if you're in disarray and you're worrying about the future and regretting the past, just remind yourself, gently breathe in, smile, and let that smile develop and envelop and embody the body you are possessing. And this is what we call mindfulness. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Effortless. The more you just watch and behold, it becomes effortless. That water trickling from Mount Olympus is always going down the route of least resistance. And this water, they gather up in streams, and these streams gather up in rivers, all going the route of least resistance. Nothing can stop their way. And then these rivers in turn, they gather up and join up in a vast ocean. And one is reminded that this ocean here is then reconnected with everything else. And then once again, this water, it starts evaporating and going the route of least resistance. And it goes up into the heaven. High above Mount Olympus, the droplets gather up as clouds, following the route of least resistance, effortless. And then as the temperature changes, the water once again follows the route of least resistance and becomes rain. And this rain is a beautiful rain. There's a dance and sing. An orchestra starts, thunder, lightning. And this rain falls down as droplets, snowflakes, hail. And then they fall down, following the route of least resistance. They gather up on top of Mount Olympus. And then once again, the cycle restarts again. The water becomes droplets again. Going down, falling down, rolling down, following the route of least resistance. So you too are reminded every time you watch your breath come and go, allow the breath to come in the route of least resistance. And likewise, when the breath wants to go, allow it to travel the route of least resistance. This will mean that you allow your body of temple, your temple of flesh and blood to move in such ways to allow the breath to go freely, unhampered. Very good. You're starting to understand. It is that simple. We are like a doorway. Try not, or do not to control the breath. Because the moment you control the breath, you're shutting that door and you're padlocking it. And you're telling the breath, oh, you can only come in when I allow you to. I'm going to keep you inside here. Or I'm not going to let you out or let you in. No. Destroy those locks. Tear down those barriers. Allow yourself to be an open doorway. Allow the breath to come in, the root of least resistance. And then likewise, allow the breath to go, the root of least resistance. And this then will be reflected in our life, in our everyday interactions. We will see that we will notice that when we interact with people, we will interact with them fully. And when they go, we allow them to go fully. We no longer need to cling on. Yes. And when we receive gifts, we receive them fully. And likewise, when we give fully. So in this sense, when we want to help, we will truly help. We will help fully without any need for any award or anything like this. And then when we reach out our hand and we ask for help, we will acknowledge and we will receive this help in full gratitude, with no regrets, no shame. And then we are reminded once again, it is because we are allowing the breath to come in through the root of least resistance. And we allow the breath to go, the root of least resistance. You see this beautiful dance, this humming, this coming and going. It is a reflection, the microscopic to the macroscopic. It is also a reflection of when we are born and also when we go. We come and then we go. So when we come into this world, we want to come in the route of least resistance. Yes, we do our best to make our mother or our wife or our partner to have a comfortable pregnancy, a comfortable birth, so that when a being comes in, it comes through the route of least resistance. And likewise, when we're living through life, we make sure that all the beings that we are sharing this life with, we help them and help ourselves to prepare for when we are going, for it to be the route of least resistance, to not die or go in regret. So we live every moment we savor, we appreciate every breath, appreciate every sip, appreciate every mouthful, appreciate every conversation, every interaction, appreciate every moment, so that when we do go, we are going the route of least resistance, nothing to regret about. And you see, this is the mandala of life. It is so simple, yet so beautiful and sublime, ineffable. But hark, these are the words from the avatar known as Tao Chi Kai, I am but a guide. I am not your master. I am not your slave. I'm your equal. So I'm talking to you now from a perspective that is less dualistic. This omnipresentness that I describe when you view and observe your inner landscape, so you too can be. It is just a state of being. And as we practice to watch our breath coming and going, the route of least resistance, so shall we, this character, this avatar known as Ethan, will be able to be residing and perceiving from a perspective that is less dualistic, more omnipresent. Omnipresent. Just watching the breath coming and going, and that's all it is. So now, as you're observing, you see that your body feels much more lighter. Your internal organs having more space to breathe. And you're starting to feel warm. This warmth is just the blood. Yes. This temple of flesh and blood. This temple of flesh and blood upon which you reside and you take solitude in. This here is your home. The more you become comfortable and at ease in your temple of flesh and blood, wherever you are in the world, you will be feeling okay. You will always feel at home, at home, omnipresent, at home, just watching, just residing in your temple. It's such a beautiful place. Because here you acknowledge that you are just being completely and at peace and contentness being by yourself. It's a beautiful place. So that when you are in the everyday world with other beings, you can still reside in this place. This is your place of integrity. You no longer need to take sides. You don't need to be playing the character of villain or victim. Because now you are residing in your own space, your own temple. You'll find now as you practice this self-study that most of the time words are not necessarily needed. You'll find that you become much more content with just being silent or smiling. And when you do speak, it's always going to be from the heart. Sincere, sweet and sincere. You will speak and you will project what your heart speaks. Like a mother, like a father, like a brother, like a sister, to all beings. And all of this was achieved by watching and beholding the breath. But now you're starting to notice that the breath is a constant. The fundamental truth in this life is things are forever changing, but our perception from upon where we perceive, this here is what we have, where we can choose to perceive from. This can change, but we can also have the ability to perceive from where we want to perceive. So perceive from inside, perceive from your center. When you perceive from the center, you no longer need to search. You are no longer trying to seek because you have already found yourself from within. And this finder, it has no name. But this character you play and this body you possess is known as the avatar, ether. So now, this avatar ether is becoming aware, it's malleable, it can change. Watching the breath coming and going the route of least resistance. So the avatar ether, he's observing it and makes him more humble. It's very humbling. Starting to cherish and fall in love with this body it possesses. Start to water and clothe and clean this beautiful body. And allow it to rest whenever it feels like it needs to rest. So even now, becomes much more conscious, more aware of what his body needs. Not what Ethan thinks the body needs, but what the body needs. And this becomes very easily, very evident when he just watches the breath coming and going, the root of least resistance. And this humility is also followed with even letting go, allowing the body to freely and honestly expressing itself. And even too, will use self-honesty as his compass to allow him to seek more union, more harmony with the steed upon which he uses to experience this life we all share. Even gently allow a smile to develop. That's it. Good. That's it. So now I'm just going to watch, and I'll give you now some space to just observe within. Because ideally, in time, you will no longer need the guide. You will no longer need this pathfinder. You will no longer need this avatar known as Tao Chi Kai. This is your life. This is your body. Home. So the process to help us to come back into what we describe as reality. Now just start becoming aware of your fingers. Start becoming aware of your hands. Start becoming aware of the wrist, aware of the elbow, becoming aware of the shoulders, becoming aware of the neck. Now you can start becoming aware of the back of the neck, and how it connects to your head. And now bring the palms of the hands together. And then start rubbing the hands. Eyes are still closed. Just rub the hands, almost like you're washing them. Just rub them. Then put your fingers, clasp your hands together. And start turning the wrists. That's the one. Eyes still closed. Then now you're going to push the clasped hands away. Let the elbows become straight. And then bring them clasp hands back towards your chest so the elbows are bent. And then once again, pulling them away, pushing them away so that our elbows are straight. And bring them back in so the elbows are bent. Pull them away. Something back in towards your chest. As you do so now, push them away and feel your shoulders stretch. And pulling them towards you again so the elbows are bent. And pulling the clasped hands away so you feel a stretch in your shoulders. And just push the palms down. Really feel the stretch in your shoulders, on your neck. Feel that stretch, good. And then you can also turn the palms away with your arms fully stretched, and you find more of a stretch. And the shoulders are stretching further. Feel the spine is also stretched like this. Good. And now bringing the palms back towards you, the elbows bending. And then do it again. Yes. And watch this video back and you'll see what I'm doing. Sick. And yes. Good. You need to turn back so you can see. You can have your eyes open so you can know for next time. So the process of waking up from meditation, they say you must wake up very gradually, because it is like a cosmic sleep. Yes. See, my elbows are stretched. I'm stretching the elbows. Hands are clasped. In the beginning, we did this. Yeah, so the eyes are still closed. But now you can have them half open. You know, do not wake up too quickly from meditation. Yes. And what you're essentially doing here is you're massaging the palms. You're kind of squashing. But we say like washing. Yes. And then you can put the hands together like that. And just do this movement. Yes. So the shoulders are nice and settled. Like this. Yes. And then this now becomes this. Yes. Good. You just feel the stretch. Just stretching. Because when we meditate, what happens is we allow the body just to unravel. So when we wake up meditation, we must now wear the body. So that's what we're doing. We're wearing the body. We're making sure we're becoming familiar with the joints, with the ligaments, with every movement that is possible. This is the beginning of Li Qi Gong. Yes. And from here now, what you do is you start rubbing. The shoulders are always relaxed. And when you rub like this here, in time, you'll notice that the hands are actually connected with the heart. I can rub my hands so hard that when I touch you, you will feel heat. And I do it in such a way where it looks like I'm not really rubbing. You see right here now, it looks like I'm not doing nothing. But I promise you, if you was here and you touch my hands, you'll feel it's very hot. But in time, you'll be able to do this. It's just me being very relaxed. Okay, but now what I do is I bring this fire that I have just manifested, I'll breathe it in. Breathe it into your snout, feel it going to the back of your neck, all the way down to your spine, and feel it go all the way into your kidneys, and you'll feel your spine should rise with this breath. Yes, watch. Yes, I'm breathing in here. I breathe. The spine rises as well with the breath. And you notice that rise in my spine? Yes. So I breathe it in. It's not a forced breath at all. Yes, I'm breathing fire from my own body that I created. The body rises from the diaphragm. Yes. And then from this point here, we breathe it out, and then now we start to wash the face. Yeah, we're washing the face with this heat. It's like a fiery water. Wash it. Good. And then you wash the sleep from your eyes. Watch back this video in time, you see that there is actually this order that I'm doing is actually very necessary. And now from the corner of the eyes down the cheekbones. That's it. Corner of the eyes down towards the cheeks. Yeah. You see, it allows us to smile more. Like, That's it. And when we're doing this here, with the shoulders being relaxed, each movement here also represents organs. When I'm doing this here with my shoulders relaxed, I'm also actually massaging my lungs. I'm breathing in as I'm doing this, gentle breath in. And breathing in. Sighing. The breath is very important. Each time you breathe in, you can feel your body push into this movement. When I massage people, you'll notice that my breath never stops. Good. And then from this point here, you're going to bring it back, all the way back to your head. Yes. And you're going to all the way from the neck. And likewise, movement here, there's movement along the neck, but at the same time, we're stretching our shoulders. You see this? Everything's connected. Yeah, and you can breathe in gently. Yeah. Good. Yes. And then now you can bring this all the way down, bring it all the way down to your neck. Pull it down, pull it down. Yes. You can stretch your neck like this. Good. So breath in and yes. And when you do this, you gather what you just pulled down, gather it in towards your chest. Yes. And then now once again the shoulders are relaxed down and you're just pulling it. Then pulling it, really feel your pectoralis, feel your chest. Yeah, really feel it. It's like you're massaging. Massage. Just allow the shoulders to drop. Massage. And you're pulling with your elbows down. And then now everything relaxed. Yes, relax the arms. And then now you can start patting. And once again, just breathing gently. As you breathe in like this, after a while, you should be able to send energy into your lungs and then through your back. Yeah, you should be able to send the energy through your back. At the moment, you might be sending it into your back. But in time, as your shoulders get relaxed, the elbows become more relaxed. And you'll be able to send it right through your body and actually behind. So with me, if I do this and you put your hand behind me here, you will feel it. You'll feel, if someone put their hand here and I pat like this, you will feel my energy going through. This is when you see massage videos, when I pat people, they report back that they can feel my energy getting sent through them. I send the energy into the organs, but also I can send it through them, especially if I want to move the spine from the other side. I hit it. Yes, and we pattern this. And each time you breathe in now, really acknowledge your diaphragm, really acknowledge your chest expanding, allowing the shoulders to drop further each time you breathe in. Good. Yes, and when you had the feel of clearing the lungs, now you start pushing it down. Push it down. So as I'm pushing here, I can also feel my spine getting pushed. I'm actually pushing into my spine. My elbows are low down. I leave my elbows close to my body. I'm pushing down, but I'm pushing into my spine. You see? Yeah, that's it. I'm pushing into my spine. But you breathe in. And be aware of your chin, Ethan. Yeah, the cranium should always be posed. Yeah, posed, yes. You see? When you lift your chin up like this and you turn, it's going to be restricted. Leave your chin poised so that then you can look 360. Yes, you feel the difference. Yes? When the chin is raised up too high, you will fall asleep. Yes. When it's raised up too high, look, this is not correct. This is arrogance. But when your chin a bit lower, you see this? And now when I look, it makes a difference, isn't it? Yes? So breathing in gently and you pull the body into the spine. Put it way down. And it's the breath out that allows the bowl to bend further. So right now in this posture here, you can imagine your spine is like a bowl, isn't it? So you're breathing in, as you exhale. Yeah. Always allow the air to come in the route of least resistance, and allow it to escape the route of least resistance. And the route of least resistance in our body is these movements that I'm showing you here, this posture that I'm showing you. The moment you raise your throat up like this, it becomes restricted for the air to come in. Does it make sense what I'm saying? All these movements here I'm showing, they're all natural movements. They all allow the breath to come in and go the route of least resistance. Okay, then once we come down to here, then now you start rubbing the belly. Yes? But when you rub the belly, just make sure to keep your elbows in. If you come out here now, this is not too good. This now means you're using here to rub your belly. When you bring your elbows in, it means now it's almost like your spine You're pushing into your spine. Yeah, keep your elbows close to you. Yes. That's why when I sit, I have no backrest or I have no armrest. My body does not rely on anything. Yes. Don't worry for next time, Ethan. Yeah. Don't worry for next time. So the more you watch this video, Ethan, and do these movements that we're doing here now, after the meditation, as you do these movements that I showed you, you're going to give yourself a self. This is what we call washing. So Li Qi Gong washing or Qi Gong washing. But for my family tradition, it's Li Qi Gong. We call this washing. After meditation is very important. If you want to, you can set an alarm. But sometimes, even with myself, if I have no alarm, I could just continue meditating and the whole day could be finished. And I'm not aware. So it's good to maybe have an alarm or something. And when the alarm goes off, do not wake up abruptly. Try to remember as much as you can. If you can't remember just to create a fire, breathe in the fire. And from there, imagine this fire is up here and you start using this fire to wash. And then you start bringing the fire down back in towards the cauldron from whence it started. Because when we started the fire, we started from the heart. We started with the cauldron. Yes, and then we bring it in towards the atlas. We breathe this fire in, and we wash. Yes, and then we wash back ahead, and then we pull it back down, and pop, 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 pop. Bring it down. Yes. And when you get to this point here, then you end up in this kind of posture again. So with the hands during meditation, a good mudra. You've heard the word mudra, isn't it? I've seen many people do a lot of things. But for us, we keep it simple. All it is you imagine your hands like this, yes? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in such a way where it's almost like it's clasped. Yeah, you see it's clasped. But what I'm going to do is instead of just holding it here, when we hold it here with the hands clasped like this, we tend to use our shoulders to clasp. So then it's not relaxed. So what we do is you place one finger up. If you place one finger up here, and then do it, you notice now you're not using the shoulders to hold it up. It becomes like a ball. Yes, so when it's like this, we call it a closed circle. You see this? It's a closed mudra. But when you leave one up, you see one up? So this is now, it's not a closed circle. It's a circle, but when it's still open. Yes, that's it. And you just place it like so. Just let it be relaxed. You'll notice the difference. If you don't have this open and you do this, you end up holding this mudra with your shoulders. But when you open it up like this and you hold now, then now the shoulders just can really relax. Because the more you watch the breath come and go, the body will start relaxing. And it's just whenever you have any thoughts that come and go, is directly correlated to somewhere along inside your body where the character has held subconsciously. Directly related. So during meditation, you're allowing now to lift up the rug and see where you've been hiding things. That's why we call it self-study. And likewise, if you feel any pain or any acheness or anything like this, these are all due from things you've been hiding underneath the rug. So the more you practice this, the more you can watch what you've been hiding, then you can say, oh, I have this, now I can let it go. Oh, I have this, now I can let it go. Yes? Just remember, just to watch the breath come and go. The moment you lift up the rug and you see something, oh, it's this, and you start looking at it too closely, you're no longer meditating. You start pretending to meditate. The ego is very clever. Remember what I said? So if you ever find yourself doing this, when I say self, when the avatar finds itself doing this, watch the breath. Because like I say, the breath is a constant. Yes, do not control the breath. The breath is like the coming and go of the waves. The breath is like the wind. The breath is like how I describe the water coming and going. Yes. But Ethan, you can see in yourself that it's been such a short little time, isn't it? That you're changing your perspective, changing from where you are perceiving from. And today you have learned quite a lot of things. Yes. So please rewatch this video. And then now it would be in such a way where now you can just listen to it. Yes. Just watch from beginning to end. Yes. Would you be happy to share this video? I think for me, it's such a blessing that you've agreed to share this, because right now it's almost like the people are following you along your journey, but likewise, they're actually moving with you along this journey. It's amazing. Yes. So I say to the people watching now, you can leave comments, but remember this ego, this avatar known as Ethan now, it's not going to affect him. That makes sense what I'm saying, isn't it, Ethan? In the past, we all yearn for nice comments and stuff. But for me, I leave these comments here really for the viewers. But obviously, sometimes I delete certain comments because certain comments are blatantly not good. Yes. But this is very, very good. So Ethan, and to all the viewers at home, until the next time, I'm the avatar known as Tao Chi Kai, or Mindful. Take care, Ethan. I will see you again the next time. So please, if you would like to join us in riding the wave of love, subscribe, follow. So as you are now starting to understand, I'm more than just about the massage. The massage is just an expression of what I am able to express, I guess. But fundamentally, the reason why I'm doing this is I will really want to help to give you an opportunity to help yourself in the most fundamental way possible. So until the next time, I am the avatar known as Tao Chi Kai. I'm ready for home.